wonderful session at BYJU'S. I'm Aishwarya and today I will be taking you through the most interesting class of them all, that is about the harmful microorganisms. I can see that a lot of you are already here. Hi Anukriti, hi Ritika, hi Shrishti, hi Palak, hi Shweta, hi Gungun. I can see Kanakaraju is here. Hello, hi Sneha. Oh, is it Sneha? Happy birthday to you, Palak. I wish you a wonderful year, lot of happiness, joy, right? And I only wish the best for you. I hope you had a wonderful day today, right, Palak? All right, okay. Thank you so much, Ayush. Yes, hi, Papya. Hello, hi, Dipashri. I can see Smita, Sudhanshu, Advika. Yes, I can see Raj is here, Pratibha, Harsimran, Smita. Wonderful, guys, wonderful. Do you think all your friends are here? Are they all here yet or are they yet to come? Right? So for those of you who are yet to come, please tell them to join the class because trust me, today we are going to be learning about all the disease causing microbes. We'll be learning about diseases, what they are, right? All about them. And I have a lot of interesting things in store for you. Yes? I am doing amazing, right? And for those of you who want to wish Palak in the class, please wish right now itself so that, we'll wish her in the beginning of the class so that later on when we are learning about it, we will focus on that. Right, Palak? I hope that's okay with you too. Yes? All right. I can see Jolsna's here. Yes. Hi, Jolsna. I can see kids learning mantra. Okay. Hi. Hello there. Yes. All right. Let the birthday wishes roll in very quickly. Yes. Hi, Vaishnavi. All right. I can see Nirali is also here. Hi, Nirali. Hi, Manvi. All right. Okay. Let those wishes flow in. We'll wait for one more minute for all our other friends to join in the class. I am so sorry, Agrima. I'm very sorry about that. I didn't forget you. I was not able to place a name, right? Because sometimes it's difficult when I see these kind of names. But I'll remember this, Agrima. I'll never forget. Yes, we will do a mind map session very soon. I am amazing, right? So, are all our friends here in class? Are they here? Yes, I am amazing. Very excited for the class today. Yes, hi Afreen, hi Prajna. Yes. So, very quickly guys, I hope my audio, my video and my screen and what I am writing on the screen is visible to you. If it is, please do let me know in the chat box. Yes? All right. Okay. All right. I can see this is Jovika. Okay. Hi, Jovika. Welcome to the class. Yes. All right. Everything is perfect and good to go. Yes. So today's class is going to be a jam-packed class because we're going to be learning about some disease-causing microorganisms and we learn about why we call them as invaders and harmful microbes, right? Now, of course, if we do have a lot of new students who are joining our session and this is probably your first class, so welcome, right, to our class. Welcome to the small little family that we have together, right? So here, as you can see, we have a Telegram channel wherein we post revision questions, updates, homework questions, session notes and PDFs, right? I know some of you will tell me, ma'am, sometimes these PDFs are not coming on time. We're sorry about that, but you will definitely get all the PDFs, right? All right, okay. So now, of course, again, a lot of you were part of our surprise gift reveal for all of you out there. So for a limited period of time, right? So I do understand that, when we revealed it yesterday, it came across that maybe the whole BYJU'S classes and app is fully free. It is fully free for a limited time period, wherein you will get 5,000 plus hours of viewing time on the app where you will be able to explore some of the premium features and of course you will be able to get the two-teacher advantage. All you need to do is that there is a link in the description box. Click on the link and use this code. Very important for it to be free and for it to be accessible for you, right? It will be free only if you use YT free code. Yes? So that these are the things that will be available to you if you use this particular code. I know I'm a little big here. Can we make me a little small so that they'll be able to see what I'm writing? Yes, Shweta, I'll send the notes. I can see that. I do understand. I will send you all the notes today itself. It's my promise to you. Yes? Right. Okay. Gungun and Mayanka premium notes. Okay. All right. Okay, I can see Asta's asking that she has registered but she has not got any notifications yet. Don't worry about it, Asta. You will have somebody reaching out from our end to you, right? So don't worry about it. No, Mohini, we are just getting started, right? Yes, all right. So use this, try it out, right? Because it's important that you first experience what we have to offer. So it will definitely be helpful for you. And I can see a lot of you have the premium access, and I'm sure that there's a lot of facilities that you are able to get through the premium app, right? So it'll definitely be helpful. Now, of course, this again will be something I will go towards the end and we can discuss more on it. We'll get started with our class, and of course we are going to be starting with homework question. In our previous session, we learnt about 5 ways in which microbes are beneficial to us. Now, we had 3 sessions in which we learnt about different ways in which beneficial microbes are there. So, if you have listed down any 5 of it, it is well and good, right? Now guys, one more thing I have to tell, right? So sometimes I don't get your homeworks on time. So in case if you forget to write the homework, in case if you have today also, it's okay. But always go back and write it, right? Because every session I tell you, and actually go back and check if anybody of you have gone back and written the homework in case if you have forgotten. So do that, okay? If you have forgotten it is okay, but just make sure that you try to write it as well. No problem, Gungun, no problem at all. So I looked at all the questions. I just have one small thing, right, for, a small feedback for all the students out there. When you are writing spellings, be very careful, right? Sometimes you may lose marks when your spellings are incorrect, right? So just be careful about that. Yes. Hi, Sonam. Hi, Dipashri. Yes. So we have Sneha, Manvi, Gungun. I can see her Simran, Akanksha. I see Varsha, Science Fly and Mayank who have given the answers, and we see that a lot more were there, but it's okay. No problem, Ayush. No problem, Shweta. It's completely okay. You can go back and write. You can write it right now after today's class itself. Yes, and all were wonderfully written answers. Science Fly, just one thing. You can elaborate on those points as well. Yes. So this was all about the homework question. And yes, like Ayush said, we are going to get started. And in today's class, we are going to be learning these very important topics. We will learn about what do we mean by the term disease and pathogen. We will learn about the disease causing microbes in humans, disease causing microbes in animals, in plants, and about food poisoning as well. Right? So this is something that we will be learning about. Yes, very simple question. Yes, and a very short question that you will get in exams also. Now I'm going to start this class with a did you know fact. How many of you have heard about this person? She is very sadly but yet very popularly known as Typhoid Mary. How many of you have heard about that? Yes, how many of you have heard about her, heard about Typhoid Mary's story? Yes, I can see a lot of you are telling me yes, but some of you are telling me no. Okay, do you know the story behind Typhoid Mary? How many of you know the story behind it? Yes, all right. I can see a lot of yes and no coming. Yes, a lot of you. All right. Okay. No, typhoid is caused because of dirty water. Very good. Not me. So you see, way back in the 1800s, right? There was actually this woman who was called as Mary Mallon. Okay, you can write this down. These are some fun facts. And she was born in Ireland and she moved to the United States roughly around, late 1800s, right? And she was a cook. And she was cooking for a family of 11. Now what happened was around that time, typhoid was something that was happening or that was getting spread drastically, right? And what happened was her family that she was cooking for, they all fell sick. And they were very sick that time, right? Now, what happened was the health inspectors came. They thought, okay, maybe some seafood that they ate, and that is why, they are falling sick. But later they realized that some of the family members had not had that food, but yet they are sick. And at that time, because they did not have access to a lot of information and healthcare, they came to this conclusion that she is the one who was spreading it. And very sadly, they had isolated her, kept her far away from everyone, right? And they thought that she was the one who was causing all of it. But much later, They learnt about the fact that it was some disease causing microorganisms that was causing it. And at that point, she was very popularly known as Typhoid Mary, because at that point, they thought that she was the one who was spreading the disease, right? So this is something that had happened way back then. And again, it is, something that's very sad, right? Because at the end of the day, she was kept far, far away for many years put together. So here I'm using this term constantly, that is disease causing microorganisms, right? So what is disease in the first place before we go ahead and understand disease causing microorganisms? So what do you remember about diseases? Yes? Okay, for all of you, I really want all of you to focus on the class, right? Very interesting topic going on. We do not want to be deviating from that, right? Yes, all right. Manvi, Anopheles mosquito did not lead to typhoid. Okay, let's not have that misconception. Yes, I can see. Yes, Shweta, it's almost about to get over. Yes, I can see pathogens coming. Yes, disease-causing microbes are pathogens. You are all amazing at it. But I'm asking, what is disease, right? We should know first what is a disease before we go ahead with everything else. Yes, all right. I can see sickness. Agrima is telling me sickness. Okay, all right. Manya is telling me pathogens. Okay, all right. All right. This was just some article, Mayank, that was published, and they just, animated it in this way. That's it. All right. Okay. Disorder of structure of function in human. Very good, Shweta. Very good. So, Shweta is more or less there. But if I have to make it very simple for all of you who are asking me what is disease, right? Disease is nothing but disturbed ease. Yes? So what do we mean by disturbed ease? Now we know how amazing our human body is, right? It's doing so many activities at one go. Even right now, when we are all sitting together, our body is still doing so many things, right? And it works like a machine, right? So we see that it works like a machine or like a factory which has so many machines put together. Yes, so this again is very important to understand. Now what happens is that the normal functioning that is there, no? So normally our body will function well and we'll be said to be healthy, right? We're said to be healthy or strong, right? But what happens is that when there is a deviation or when there's something that is stopping or affecting the normal functioning. So you can think of it, right? In our house, if we have a refrigerator, but suddenly, one part of the refrigerator doesn't work properly, then the whole refrigerator will get affected, no? So similarly, you can think of it that way. That is what we mean by affecting normal functioning of the body. So disease is a condition which affects the normal functioning of the body. Yes, disease in Hindi we say is bimari, right? That's what we say. Disturbed, yes, it disturbs the normal functioning. So this is a very important definition. I want all of you to write and remember because this forms the basis. I always tell you there are some things I spend time explaining because it forms the foundation of your understanding, right? Yes, all right. So this is what we mean by disease. And of course, most often we use a few other terms, right? We use illness, we say sickness. I saw sickness and all of it coming into the picture. Now, most often we feel that sickness, illness, disease are all the same, right? But actually, they are not the same. So I know illness or sickness characterized. Actually, illness is when we are not keeping well, right? So illness will not be definitely because there's something wrong with our body. Sometimes if you've had a very long day, you're just very tired, you have not eaten, right? So at that point, what happens? You just feel ill, right? So that's what is there. And sickness is just something where, it's a very colloquial way of saying it. Disease is something that is more specific and biological, right? So of course, we tend to use it interchangeably, but as science students, you must understand that, right? That it's not all the same. And we know that most diseases, I'm stressing on this fact a lot, most diseases are caused by disease-causing microorganisms that are called as pathogens. So we see that there are some viruses, some bacteria, some protozoans, some fungi, and some worms as well that tend to cause diseases. So are we clear on what is disease and pathogen? Very quickly, can you let me know in the chat box? So today's class will be roughly for 40 minutes today, okay? Because I do understand we have a lot of things to cover. Yes, Papya, that is the definition of health. Health is mental, physical and social well-being. Very good, Harsimran. It's caused by Salmonella typhi. Yes, all right. Okay. And at any point, if you have doubts, do let me know, okay? Because I do understand this is a very heavy chapter, so this heavy part, so please do let me know. Right, okay. Now let's quickly move on to some disease-causing microbes in humans or pathogens that affect the human body. Right? So can you give me some examples of some diseases that we see in human beings? Can you tell me? Yes, all right. I can see one example already. Manvi has spoken about cholera. That's amazing, Sneha, that you've made a project. Yes. Tuberculosis. Okay. I'm going to write them down. Tuberculosis. I can see dengue here. All right. Then I need some more. Okay, there is cold. I just told you about cold. Okay, that looks like a wrong spelling. Cold. I can see typhoid coming in. All right. Ayush, I could see your question. I missed it. Ma'am, what diseases are caused without pathogens? Ayush, if you can give me 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I'm actually getting to that point. Ayush, can we do that? Is it okay? Yes, I can see measles. I have malaria. Oh my God, you all know so many of them. TB is the most common. TB is very popular. Monkeypox. All right, okay. I can see monkeypox. All right, I can see AIDS. Okay. COVID. All right. Yes. Nipah virus. Yes, okay. So, plague. All right, I'm talking about diseases, not the organism. Hepatitis. Amazing. You all know so much about diseases already. Tetanus. Who told me about tetanus? Yes. Okay. Chickenpox. Fine. I'm writing chickenpox as well. All right. Okay. Yes. Amazing. HIV. Obesity will not be really considered as a... Okay. Obesity we can still consider. All right. Diabetes. All right. Yes. Very good. Diabetes. Yes. Gonorrhea. Oh my God. So many are here already. But yes. All right. So in this case, you have told me about so many diseases, and most of the diseases that you guys have told me, right, are what I have written. I've just removed diabetes out of it, right? But apart from that, the ones that are there are usually affecting humans. Now, can all of you tell me how exactly does a human fall sick? Have you ever thought about it? Conjunctivitis. Yes, Papya. Have you ever thought about how humans fall sick? Yes? So just think about, take an example, maybe take tuberculosis. How do you think people get tuberculosis? Any of you are aware? Right, okay, I can see the kids. Very good, Pratibha, by air, right? Pathogens trying to enter by air. Hi, Amrut, yes. Cough or cancer? Okay, Papya, Palak, that's a very, extreme end questions that were there, right? Yes, I know, right? Bubonic plague was very dangerous, very good. I did not forget. I was waiting for you, Mayank. Yes, I'm going to write that also, bubonic plague. I will write that. Yes, very good. I can see contaminated water, air and a lot of it. So, basically, it gets spread from somewhere, right? And what's most often happens is that usually it gets spread from an infected person to a healthy person. So, most often, again, I'm writing this down, very, very important. Most often, pathogens are spread from an infected person to a healthy person. Then how does a person get infected in the first place? So there are various modes of transmission, right? So various ways in which the pathogen will get spread, or various ways in which modes of transmission will take place. Papya, I will get to your question in just a bit. Can I finish this part and then come to that question? Because this part is very, very important for all of you, right? So first and foremost, like a lot of you told me, it is by air, right? So we see that through air, we can see that these pathogens can be spread. So what happens here? Just look at this video. There is a guy, he is coughing here. Yes, so let me just go back so that you can see this once again. So here we see that there is this guy who is coughing without covering his mouth. And there are these droplets which are going out of his body that consist of pathogens, right? And if a person is standing in close contact, then we see that that individual will also get affected. So what should we do in such cases? Can you tell me? Yes, can you tell me? Sneezing and coughing. Yes, if you sneeze and cough without covering your mouth, this tends to happen and we tend to spread it, right? So it is important that we cover our mouths while sneezing and coughing. Wear masks, very good. Covering our face. Yes, social distancing, very good. Take precautions, very good all of you, very good. Use a handkerchief. Yes, amazing guys, amazing. Yes, so whenever a person has these kind of diseases like tuberculosis or cold, sometimes what happens is that these pathogens will be in the air or they get spread by through droplets as well. Now next one, like a lot of you are already telling me, is waterborne, or they are spread through water, right? So we see that sometimes the water will get contaminated. Now what do we mean by contaminated? It means that that water has pathogens like how you can see here, right? And what happens is that if an individual drinks this contaminated water, then the pathogen will enter into his or her body. So what can we do to prevent this? Can any of you tell me? If it is in the water, what should we do? Hi, Hyder Ali. Yes, all right. Yes, very good, very good. All right. Yes. Harm. Yes, Neha. Heat. Boil the water. Very good. Filter the water. Very good. Yes, all right. Okay, throw the water outside. Very good, Ayush. Yes. So basically what happens is that if it is highly contaminated, then you will also get some smell and everything. And like Ayush said, we will throw the water outside. But at all times, it's important that we heat the water and we boil it or we filter it. Yes, boiling is the best preferred method, right? So that because all that heat will kill all the microbes and thereby it will be helpful. So filter it and then boil it, right? Yes, all right. Okay. Now, of course, let's move on to the next one, right? So the next one that we are going to be looking at is a very important one, especially when we are talking about on your exam front. So I'm not going to tell you. I will play the video for you guys and you have to tell me what is happening. Because I know you will get it. Y'all are all damn smart. So tell me what is happening here. Just observe. Yes, we are going to do some observations. What is happening? Yes, very good, Agrima. Yes, very good. Okay, all right. Very good, Sneha. Carriers. Very high, Alka. Hello. Very good, Shweta. Vectors. Okay, I am getting a lot of terms here. Carriers. Vectors. Yes, dengue spread by mosquito. Very good. Mosquito spreading disease. Yes, very good. That's the word I was looking for. Carrier or vector. Right, so here we see that there's a mosquito. Mosquito is biting this guy and we see that he's already infected. So he has some disease, but that pathogen is now being spread from the infected individual to the healthy individual. Now I have one question to ask you, right? How many of you wonder this? That if there is a mosquito who's biting an infected individual who has, say, some disease, right? And the pathogen enters into the mosquito's body. How many of you think if that mosquito will actually get the disease or no? How many of you wonder this? Yes, housefly is also there. Very good. How many of you wonder if the mosquito will fall sick? Because as a child, I used to wonder, right, if that actually happened. No, Agrima keeps wondering about it. That's great. Shweta's like, no, I don't wonder that. No. Yes, it's good, guys. It's good. It will fall sick. Okay. None of you have wondered that. You think it will fall sick? Yes, that's actually an interesting fact about it. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Mayank. Right. So actually, of course, like most of you are telling me, the mosquito will not fall sick. So mosquitoes are said to be carriers or vectors because the primary role is to take, or it carries the pathogen from infected individual to healthy individual. And mosquitoes are the most common examples. And like how Mayank told us, right, the female mosquito is the one that actually bites us and sucks the blood. Not the male mosquito that is there, right? Yes, so we have female Aedes mosquito, like how Sneha is telling us, it helps in the transmission of the dengue virus. And we have the female Anopheles mosquito that helps with the transmission of Plasmodium, which is nothing but a parasite that causes malaria. Are we clear with this part? Yes? Are we clear? We call these or animals or these insects as vectors or carriers, right? Yes, all right. Do cockroaches spread diseases? So most likely, Papya, so I would say yes, right? Because we often call cockroaches, which is why we don't want cockroaches. But specifically, a cockroach will not act as a vector or a carrier. It just, it in itself will spoil the food, or it'll, destroy the food, which is why we will say that cockroach is not a carrier. But yes, cockroach will destroy the food. 100%. So we call such as vector-borne diseases, and like most of you have already told me, we see that houseflies are another example of the same. So here, as you can see, housefly is an example. And sometimes when we leave the food open for a long period of time, we see that these houseflies will come. And Papya, this is very similar to what cockroaches also do. Because what happens is that when these cockroaches or, when these houseflies will come and sit, right? The saliva that they excrete, or when they're eating or whatever saliva or their secretions that come out, they tend to affect the food that we are eating, right? That's why if a housefly comes and sits, we tend to always say, keep it closed so that houseflies don't come or cockroaches don't come. So here in this case for housefly, they also act as a vector, which is why I always keep the food closed. Yes? They carry the protozoa. Very good, Ayush. Yes. Everybody's getting very disgusted about cockroaches, right? Yes, even I don't like cockroaches at all, especially the ones that fly. I remember once one cockroach came flying in and I ran out. Like, there was no waiting. I just ran. Yes, all right. Use Kala hit. Okay. Yes, all right. It's not good. Yes, Papya. All right. Okay then. With some disease, then will it I missed that question. Can you just send that question once again? Can we go up? Yes, I can see Dhirendra's question. What if female Anopheles mosquito bites a person whose blood is infected with some disease? Then will the person, if it bites, be infected by both the diseases? Okay, all right. So no, the thing here is oh, I get it. If a person is infected with some other disease, and if say Plasmodium or something enters. So here again, it depends, okay? It depends on what kind of disease the person is already having. Because there are chances that sometimes a person can have two diseases. It's not something that will, be that only one disease will come at one time. Nothing like that. There are chances that it could happen twice at a go. How can microbes benefit us? Shweta, we have learnt about antibiotics. We have learnt about vaccines. Yes, that's how they help us. Yes? Okay. Lastly, moving on to direct contact, right? So now we know that sometimes through direct contact also we see that mosquitoes or pathogens can be spread. Yes, so this again is very important. Now quickly I have a question for you guys. Which of the following is the pathogen that is responsible for causing malaria? Is it Anopheles or Plasmodium? Very quickly in the chat, let me know. Yes? All right. Is it Plasmodium? A or B? I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds. Again, I'm seeing some answers, so let's focus. Following is the pathogen and not the carrier. We are not talking about the carrier here, right? Yes, all right. So for all of you who said Plasmodium, very good. Plasmodium here is the pathogen, the disease-causing microbe that causes malaria. But Anopheles mosquito is only the vector, right? Or it's only the carrier. So very important thing to remember here. Yes? All right. Okay. So guys, now with this, we've learned a very important chunk about these microorganisms. And now we've learned about how there are various microorganisms which can be transmitted from infected individual to healthy individual. And again, a lot of them, I remember Ayush asked me this question, right? Are there diseases which are not caused by pathogens? Yes, Ayush, there are diseases which are not caused by pathogens. And we will learn about how there are some categories of diseases, right? So next part is a very important one. Yes, very good, Aprajita. Chikungunya is also another example. Well done. Yes, well done. Now you see here, diseases can be broadly categorized into non-communicable and communicable diseases. Oops, it's behind my back, but I hope you can see. So now let's understand what is communicable, right? So again, Disease caused by algae. So at the top of my mind, I am not able to recall any disease, right? Because most often we see that algae don't really cause diseases. But then again, right, sometimes these microbes may not be really good, right? So they may not be good for the body. So they may cause a lot of uncomfortableness in the body. I have missed out a question, Ayush. You were asking me about it. So really sorry I missed that out. Yes, all right. Okay. So now then again, we'll talk about what are communicable diseases. Yes. So communicable diseases are those diseases which can spread from one individual, or I would say from infected individual, right? Not just from any individual, but from an infected individual to a healthy individual. Yes? Alright, so this is something that we need to remember, and this is an important definition. All of you write it down. Yes, like COVID. Very good. Yes, Papya, some are acute and chronic, but for 8th grade, this much is enough to know about communicable diseases, right? Yes, Sonam, I do remember you. So this is what we mean by communicable diseases, and one thing to understand is that most pathogens are considered to, or are said to, diseases caused by pathogens are said to be communicable diseases. But there are some diseases which are non-communicable, which means that it will not spread from infected individual to healthy individual, non-communicable. And most often, right, we see that there are some diseases. So Ayush was asking, are all diseases caused by pathogens? No. We also know that sometimes it is caused due to some genetic conditions. Yes, Sunny, like cancer, right? So this again is important to understand. So cancer is an example which is not caused by any microbe, right? We also know that there are various deficiency diseases which is caused due to diet, when people don't eat right. Yes, and we also see here that sometimes there are some lifestyle diseases like diabetes. Very good, Gungun, very good. Yes. So these are some examples. I have written some on the screen, Rohit. You can write it down. Yes, I will explain this once again. Communicable diseases are those diseases which can be spread from one infected individual to other healthy people around them. It can spread through the different ways we discussed, through air, water, direct contact, however. But non-communicable diseases are those diseases which will not spread. And most happens due to lifestyle, right? So like, for example, or it could be due to some genetic conditions like cancer, it could be deficiency diseases like rickets, where I saw this, right? And we also see here that some of them also cause diabetes. All right, Ayush, just 1 minute. Virus that is visible to our naked eyes. I did not read about this, Ayush, but I'll definitely look into this. You know these scientists, they are constantly doing some research or the other, so definitely it might be true. I will definitely read up on this, Ayush, and get back to you on it very soon, yes? All right. So all of it related to the BYJU'S classes, we will discuss towards the end. Yes, heart attack is a end of it, I would say, right? So that is there. All right. So now, of course, very quickly, we are going to look at some examples. So some examples of bacterial disease include tuberculosis, typhoid, and cholera. And we see that tuberculosis is spread through air droplets, right? Through the air, right? Scurvy is a deficiency of vitamin C. Yes? All right. Now, typhoid is spread through contaminated water, right? Or contaminated food. Even cholera is spread through contaminated water or food, right? So, yes, okay, Shweta, could you hold this question? We'll discuss it towards the end if you don't mind, right? Yes, let's hold that question. You'd let me know once again towards the end, okay? Because I'm constantly seeing your question and I want to answer, but we also have a few more things to cover. Yes, so we will talk about it. Now, next, of course, we have some examples of viral diseases. We have chickenpox, hepatitis, and polio. And we see that hepatitis A is spread through contaminated water. We have chickenpox, which is spread through direct contact or air, right? And we also have polio, which is spread through air or water. Then, of course, we have some examples of vector-borne diseases, right? We've also learned about vector-borne diseases. And we've already discussed this in great detail, yes? So here we have malaria and dengue, and we've already looked at the vectors involved. Sorry about that. Now, are you guys ready for some extra information? So this, of course, is how much that you will find in your textbook, right? And of course, before I go ahead, there's just one point that I missed out, especially when we talk about vectors, right? So one thing is, of course, with the prevention. Yes. So how can we prevent these vector-borne diseases? How many of you know this part? How can we prevent vector-borne diseases? Yes, of course, before I go to the extra information part, yes, I just want to, cover this bit as well because it's there in your syllabus and it should be covered. Yes, all right. Vaccine, okay, isolation, all right. Hyder Ali, let's focus on class. Okay, yes, all right. Yes, very good Ayush. Making area clean and hygienic. Very good Aditya. Do not letting water collect. Covering stagnant water. Very good, very good. Yes. All right. Amazing guys, amazing. Now one thing again here is that whenever it comes to diseases that are spread by vectors, right? The biggest way in which we can prevent it, not stop it entirely, but prevent the spread of such diseases is by ensuring that, we cover the food and we make sure that there's no stagnant water. Because you see, for mosquitoes to reproduce and make more in number, they require water. Right, which is why in this case we see that preventing stagnant water, covering food, all of this is enough, right? So these are a few things that we need to do. Ayush, I have missed your fact again. I am so sorry. Could you just send it once again? I'm so sorry, guys. All right. So these are some things to remember. Not allowing a breeding ground. Yes, you should not be allowing the breeding ground for these mosquitoes. Very good. And not allowing the water to sort of be there. Okay, Manya's question is there. Do you know there is a new bacteria that we can see? Yes, I think they were, Ayush was also telling me about it. I will definitely read up on this, guys, and make a quick short for you so that we can discuss more on it. Yes, I will read up on this. All right. Now, this is for some extra edge for all those students who are excited, right, to know more. Now, when you guys were telling me about some of the diseases that you are aware of, you all have heard of tetanus, right? All of you have heard of tetanus. Now, do you know that when this disease happens, how many of you know about what exactly happens in tetanus? Yes. All right, Papia. Yes, we can do that. Iron, yes. There will be a quiz soon, Shravani. We will have it. Yes. So sometimes when we rub our hands, or sometimes what happens is that when we are playing or we hit our hand against some, like a rusted iron, right? So when we hit our hand against a rusted iron, if there's a scratch, or sometimes when we're playing barefoot in the soil and there is a cut in our body, right? Our friends or our elders especially will tell them, they'll tell us, get an injection for tetanus immediately. Right, that is very important because they're saying this needs to be done immediately. So what is the reason behind this? Now, first thing to understand is that tetanus is a bacterial disease which is caused by Clostridium tetani, and it looks something like this, as you can see on the screen. It actually looks like a very pretty bacteria, no? Yes, in fact, it's not infection by iron actually. It's infection by this bacterium here, right? That is Clostridium tetani, right? So you just need to know that it's called Clostridium, that's all. And even if you don't remember, it's okay. You just need to know it's caused by a bacteria. And what happens is that whenever there is a cut, right, and our body gets exposed, yes, it gets exposed to this particular bacteria, this bacteria will enter into our body. And you know what? This bacteria is very vicious, right? It will come and it will affect our nervous system. And we know that our nervous system has our brain, has our spinal cord, it has all these neurons, right? So we see that it affects the part of our body that controls all the activities that happen inside our body. So it's affecting that part. And you know how it will affect? It will produce a particular toxin which is called as tetanus toxin, and it will release it into the nervous system. Now what happens? This is how our nervous system looks like, right? Can you believe it? On the inside of it, it looks this way. How magical does it look on screen to all of you? Because when I first saw this, right, you can see how it's all communicating with one another, right? And it's always sending impulses, coordinating with our muscles, telling us what to do. Yes, these are all our neurons, right? Yes, it's very fascinating. Now, what this tetanus toxin will do, no? It will affect this. And what will happen is that it will affect the way it will go to the muscles. So what you're seeing right here, these are our muscles in our hands and our legs, right? So these are the muscles that you see. And this is how the nervous system is sending information to the muscles. Can you believe that this is how it looks on the inside of our body, right? And when this toxin enters into our body, no, it will affect all of this. It will affect the functioning of it entirely. And when this happens, we see that our muscles will start to become stiff. Yes, it will start to become stiff. We'll have muscle spasms, difficulty in swallowing, right? And we see that we'll no longer be able to talk after a point. Yes, and that is why the jaws will get locked. And we call this as the lockjaw disease, which is why it is also popularly known as lockjaw disease. And eventually, if it goes on, it will cause seizures as well, which is why our elders will rush us to the hospital to get an injection or a tetanus vaccine here, so that it will affect or it will stop those toxins and destroy them from our body, right? So that I think is very important. Yes, all right. Yes, Shrishti, your messages are visible. So this was just some extra edge on all of it, right? So I always want to tell you about extra things because I know how excited you are to learn about new things, right? Yes. Is dysentery caused by pathogen? So dysentery is actually a symptom, right? Wherein we see that, you know, sometimes dysentery is it's usually like a symptom that happens, not specifically. Yes, all right. Now moving on to the next one. So the next bits are very simple and easy, where we are going to be talking about some diseases or pathogens that affect animals. Because you see, microbes don't just affect human beings, but they affect the normal functioning of animals. They also affect the normal functioning of plants. And we will quickly have a look at all of them, right? So here, as you can see, some of the diseases that are caused in animals, and what is there is, of course, anthrax and foot and mouth disease. Now, anthrax is a disease that affects cattle, right? And we see that normally it is there in the soil, or sometimes it may be there in the feces, right? And of course, if human beings eat an animal who is contaminated, then that human can also get the disease. Yes, so that is important to remember. And we also see that it's caused by a disease known as Bacillus anthracis. Very good, Akanksha. It was discovered by Robert Koch. And Robert Koch, I'm telling you, has so much to offer when it comes to microbiology. He had a lot of it. Then, of course, we have foot and mouth disease, which is spread through direct contact amongst animals, and it's caused by a virus. And, of course, we do see that there are symptoms in animals as well, right? So, again, this is important. Yes. Sachet, we are going to have Menti very soon. Don't worry. Then we have diseases which are caused in microbes in plants. Now the most common ones that you see are citrus canker, rust of wheat, and yellow mosaic virus. Now I'll give you some key features. In citrus canker, it mainly affects citrus fruits. Yes, like lemon, orange, and all of that. And we see that it will cause all of these spots on them. So if this is a plant, it will cause spots like that, and it will destroy the fruit. Yes, and we see that rust of wheat is caused by a fungi called as Puccinia, right? And as you can see here, what will happen is, if this is the leaf, I'm just removing this part, okay, so that you can see. If this is the leaf, no, you'll find spots like this which look like rust, which is like a goldenish brownish color, which is why we call this as rust of wheat. Then we have yellow mosaic, wherein the leaf that is there, no, it will have yellow and green patches like a mosaic, which is why it's called yellow mosaic thing, and it's caused by viruses. So this, of course, you need to know in bare minimum. You don't need to go too much in detail. But another reason is, especially with plants and animals, no, we see here that even the farmers who are rearing these animals, or who are cultivating the crops, they will also spray antibiotics on them, or they will give them vaccinations for those animals, so that they will be healthy and they will be protected. So the medicines and antibiotics that we learnt about is not just about, you know, for human beings, but it's for animals as well. So very important thing to remember. So here you will get the PDF after the class in the Telegram channel, right? That link of the Telegram channel is there in the description box. Some more examples of which pathogen affecting human beings or affecting animals and plants. Please do let me know. All right, okay. So now, of course, very quickly, we are about to wind up our session, right? So very quickly, can you tell me the answer? We have 5 more minutes, right? Yes, all right. Okay, can you tell me the answers to this? Please write the names of the microorganisms. Harsimran, can you tell me in where you want me to write the names? Yes? Lichens are a symbiotic association of humans and lichens are an association, symbiotic association between algae and fungi. I read human beings in between, right? Okay, all right. Dengue is caused by what? Is it caused by bacteria, fungi or virus? Yes, all right. Okay, so Harsimran, I'll do one thing due to the interest of time, right? Because I have not got the chance, because another teacher is waiting for a class. Do post these questions in the comment section. I'll reply to you then and there only. Don't worry about it, okay? Yes, we'll not give vaccine to plants. We will be spraying antibiotics on them. Yes, dengue is a virus, very caused by virus. Anthrax is caused by bacteria, very good. And rust of wheat is caused by fungi. I could see the answer. Yes, very good and well done. Now I'm going to move to the last part, for which I'm going to give you a small insight into this, because we will be looking at it more in detail. Sometimes what happens is that, you know, when we eat food which is not good or which is spoiled, we tend to feel nauseated or we feel like throwing up, right? So in such cases, we see that most often this happens due to food poisoning, right? Manya, I said vaccine for animals. I think I missed that out. Vaccine is for animals. Antibiotics is also for animals, but for plants, only antibiotics. Yes? All right. So normally when food is spoiled, and food gets spoiled when microorganisms are growing on it. And if we eat such food, it causes nausea, abdominal cramps, vomiting, fever, and so on. Right? Which is why food preservation is a very important technique. Yes? So this again is very important. And I am going to do an entire session on food preservation techniques tomorrow. So don't worry, be there for the class. Right? Yes. All right. So Palak, we are going to be learning more about it very, very soon tomorrow. Nausea is when we feel, you know, uncomfortable and when we feel like, you know, throwing up. Yes? Shrishti, I think I have missed your question, and due to the interest of time, I may not be able to answer your question, right? So please let me know in the comment section, whatever your doubts are. I will definitely answer through our channel, right? I will be answering, don't worry about it. Yes, all right. So quick reminder on using the YT free code, link is there in the description. Use the code, don't forget it. And of course, here's your homework question for today. Why should we avoid standing close to a tuberculosis patient while he or she is coughing? Very simple and easy homework. Please drop your comments. Yes, I will answer your question in the comments, Harsimran. All of you who still have doubts, put your doubts in the comment section. I will definitely be answering them because we're running short of time, and I'm very sorry that I'm not able to answer all of these questions, but I will answer it in the comments, right? I will only be answering it. Yes, so this is your homework question. And of course, tomorrow I am coming live with food preservation and techniques. And this is the last part of the chapter. So stay tuned. Be there on time at 6 p.m. And of course, you know that we've got you covered no matter what. I hope you liked today's class, right? Because I know today's class was very long. We had it for almost 50 minutes. Oh my God, that's a long time. But I'm so happy that all of you stayed, right? Because I think all of you enjoyed today's class. Yes? All right. Now, of course, if you do like this session and you like what we do, please make sure that you like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel, right? Thank you so much for being a part of today's class. I had a lot of fun. Hoping to see you very, very soon again. Bye-bye and have a nice day.